We're continuing in Likutay Moharan Torah Aleph, Siman Yud Aleph. V'da sheyesh chiluk bein hacholas. You should know there are different types of diseases. Ki yesh cholas shu b'chinas tzomech. There's some types of diseases or sicknesses that are like a plant. K'mo shezorin garin ba'aretz v'unirkav v'yotzem mena shamnunis v'nasa gidim. Like a seed. Starts off, this disease starts off like a seed that's planted. It's planted in the ground and it starts rotting. The outside of the seed or certain parts of it rot and leave the inside. And the inside, some type of wetness or a certain type of part of the inside grows from shamnunis, and like a greasy, oily part grows. The nasagidim and starts sprouting. V'nitosuf elu al elu, and it gets bigger, the sprouting, until the root, it takes root in the ground. And from this plant comes a type of branch. And from these branches come out more branches until the fruit actually develops. So this is a mashal, the Rebbe is saying, that to some type of diseases. There are diseases that are like plants. Similarly, in diseases, there are some types of diseases that grow in a person for many years and develop like a plant. There are some types of diseases even that are hereditary that come from his parents. But these diseases are sometimes only revealed when a person gets older. And the time when the plant, when the disease starts sprouting and growing, the disease, the sickness, is hidden from anybody, from everybody. Nobody could know. Nobody knows about it. Nobody knows about this disease because nobody could tell the person is actually sick. But there are some type of signs that a person can tell, some types of pains or other types of things that a person can tell with that there is this disease. But since he doesn't know about this disease, he doesn't know that these pains are a sign for this type of disease, he won't never be able to heal himself. So it's effectively totally hidden from human knowledge. So sometimes a person has diseases of this type. And also when healing a person's self with herbs or with medicine, there's also different types of differences. And there's some types of diseases which are enough to just take one type of medicine, and other types of diseases which need a number of different types of medicine in order to heal a person. And a person has to combine sometimes different types of medicines together in order to heal himself. And some people need to be healed from with medicines that come from a great distance. And some types of diseases can never be healed. No type of medicine will ever heal this disease. Because the power of the disease is sometimes stronger than the power of the medicine. So then the medicine would not help. Now in the beginning, when the disease started to grow inside of him, then it would have been easy to uproot it and to give medicine and to heal the person. Medicine would have been effective. But then the disease was hidden from everybody. And only Hashem knew about this disease. But when a person is holding on the level of Dvar Hashem, which is Tefillah, as we mentioned above, she'az mekablim harafuas mikol advarim sheba'olam afilu milechem hamayim. And then when a person has tefillah, a person receives the power of everything, the power of all the herbs, all of the medicines. He receives it through his tefillah, and he's able to bring it into bread and water, even the simple things like bread and water. As we said before, that a person can then, when he's holding on the level of tefillah, he can be misrap himself with anything. He could heal himself with anything. Then he can heal himself even at the time when the disease is just starting to grow inside of him. Then he can heal himself even when the disease is hidden from everybody, including himself, because then at that time, when he's holding on to Dvar Hashem, he doesn't need to have any types of medicines. So since he doesn't need medicine, he can heal himself with the power of the medicine which is drawn into the bread and water. And when he eats the bread and water, he's effectively eating the medicine. And this he could do even when he doesn't know that he's sick, since Hashem knows. רק רפואסו על ידי לחם ומים כנ"ל. על כן, גם אז, היינו שעדיין לא נסגר החולס, יוכל גם כן לשרפוס על ידי לחם ומים שאוכל אז. Then basically a person can heal himself with bread and water, even though he doesn't know about the disease. וזה בכנס כל המאכלה ששמתי במצרים לא אשים עליך, כי אני השם רופאך. And this the Rebbe is going to put into a pasuk. In Shmos it says, all of the sickness that I gave upon you in Mitzrayim, I will not give upon you now, because I am Hashem, your healer. V'ikshu kol mefarshim, and the mefarshim all ask, im lo yasim matzarach l'refuah. All the mefarshim, the ones who explain this pasuk, ask a question. They say, if Hashem is not going to give us the disease, why do we need to be healed? And the words in the pasuk seem to say, I won't. All of the diseases that I gave to you in Mitzrayim, I won't give to you now. So, because I am Hashem, your healer. Healing is mashma, signifies that there was some type of sickness. But if Hashem doesn't give you the sickness, how does He need to heal you? So the Mefarshim asked this question, and the answer, and the Rebbe is answering here this question. According to what we explained above, it makes perfect sense. Perush, the explanation of this pasuk is, all of the sickness that I put upon you in Mitzrayim, I won't give to you. Meaning, I won't bring you to an actual disease, to actually being sick at all. Why? Because I'm going to heal you. Because I'm going to heal you through bread and water, even before the sickness comes into play, comes to action. So the Rebbe is saying, this is I am Hashem, your healer, and he's referring to Ani Hashem. Daika, specifically me, Hashem, Hainu be'es tzmichas ha'malacha, she'ein yodeh mimeno, she'az ein yodeh mimeno rak Ani Hashem. Az erpo oscha yedei b'chinas dvar Hashem, b'chinas tefillah. ולא יבוא לידי מחלה כלל, כי ירפה מקודם באש צמיחה כנ"ל. The Rebbe is explaining that the pasuk means that I won't give you the sickness because I am Hashem your healer. It means I won't give you a sickness that actually comes to fruition, that actually comes to take effect on a person and make him actually feel sick. Why? Because I am Hashem your healer, I'm going to heal you even before the sickness comes to take effect. Even when you have a sickness inside of you, and that sickness will be stopped through eating of bread and water, through the fact that a person is holding on tefillah of Dvar Hashem, the power level of Dvar Hashem, where all the kochos of the tefillah go into the bread and water, then Hashem is going to heal you. So when Hashem heals you in such a state, He didn't put the sickness upon you, and He also healed you. So it's an answer for how the pasuk, how Hashem can be your healer and also not put the sickness upon you. Because He's your healer in the fact that He's getting rid of the sickness before it takes effect, but He also didn't put the sickness upon you because in the end, the sickness didn't take effect upon you. All this is dependent on perfection of tefillah, holding by Dvar Hashem. And when a person holds on to Hashem, then he's able to draw all the powers of healing into his bread and water. Because then all of this is dependent on perfection of tefillah, having perfect tefillah, because tefillah is dependent. And tefillah, we said, is dependent on fixing the three avodas, three services. And now, v'zeh v'yomer im shamoa v'chulu v'yasher v'inav tase v'zantal mitzvosa v'shamata kochukav. This is, now the Rebbe is putting this into a new pasuk. V'yomer im shamoa v'yasher v'inav tase, that you should listen to, you should do what's right in His eyes, in Hashem's eyes, and you should listen to His mitzvahs, and you should be shomer, you should protect His chukos, His laws. Zeh bechinas tikun shalosh midos, shalosh avodos. This is the bechina of fixing the shalosh avodos. This is the idea of fixing the three avodos that we mentioned before, the services of the Sitra Achra of the other side. And how he explains it in the pasuk. Vayasher beinav tase. Vayasher beinav tase. You should do what's right in his eyes. This is the opposite of bizui anashim, of making fun of people. Ki k'shemevaz anashim nemar yasher. K'shemevaz anashim nemar yashor al anashim v'yom chatasi v'yasher hevisi v'chulu k'moshamar b'sein zuchon arucha. There's a pasuk that speaks about doing the right thing. And this is a pasuk that's brought down in the Gemara in Yuma, which is referring to bringing three people. When you embarrass somebody, when you hurt someone's feelings, you have to bring three people to make him to appease him. And if he's not appeased right away, you have to bring three people to appease him. And this pasuk is referring. This is what this pasuk is referring to. That Yoshev al Anashim, you should bring rows of people to appease him. So this is referring to Yosher al Anashim. This Yashrus is referring to making people feel bad, embarrassing people. V'zanta mitzvosov, and you should listen to his mitzvahs. This is the Indian of Tikkun Bris. B'chinas v'yamal Avram es Yitzchak beno ben shmonos yom kasher tziva oso Elokim, that Hashem, that Avram Avinu gave Yitzchak a bris milah after 8 days, as Hashem commanded him. So we see a commandment. A tzivui is the Indian of Shmiras Bris. That's what it says. Hezanta lemitzvosav, to his mitzvahs. Mitzvahs are Tikkun Bris. V'shamata chol kosav, and you should listen to all of his laws. Zebuchnes tikkun amuna hefech avodah zarah. This is the idea of tikkun amuna, which is the opposite of avodah zarah, which is pigam amuna. Avodah zarah is the opposite of amuna. Shenemar alehem chukus ha'amim hevehu. Where it says about avodah zarah, it says chukus ha'amim, the laws of the goyim, of the nations, is hevel, is wastefulness, is worthless. So there it's referring to chukos as avodah zarah in the pasuk here. So here we see shamayta chukosov. If you watch all of Hashem's chukos, that's the Indian of the mitzvah, is the Indian of emunah. Azai kol machla shesamti, and then the end of the pasuk says, all of the sickness that I will give upon you, I will not. All the sickness that I gave upon you in Mitzrayim, I won't give to you. Why? Because I am Hashem, your healer. Ani Hashem rafecha. Ki az atfilah b'shlemus v'yochel yisrapos ayidei dvar Hashem. Because then the tefillah is b'shlemus. When you have these three midas, the tefillah is perfected, and then yochel yisrapos al kol davar b'chol dvarim shabol, and then a person can heal himself with anything in the world. Filu kodem shenizgal acholas. Even before the sickness is revealed, and Rav Nosson says, Also, after the sickness is revealed, he can also heal himself. Rav Nosson here brings another pasuk that says, that the Rebbe brought before, which is referring to sickness that already did come into play, that already was seen and is effective as a sickness. Then Hashem could take away also through the refuah of Dvar Hashem, through the refuah of through a person holding by the level of tefillah and being able to draw the power of the healing into his food. Even the Rebbe is speaking about even before a person gets sick, that a person can heal himself with anything except for three things that we mentioned before, that you can heal yourself with anything. Anything you eat will actually have the power of the refuahs inside of it.